We discussed bringing another female partner into the relationship and making it polyamorous. And
Throuple, I think they call it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Me and Tasha both actually met her, and we really grew liking to her, and we ended up being a three-way relationship. We ended up living together. There were talks between me and Tasha about a wedding. She didn't know when I was going to propose, but she did give me $3,000 to help afford a wedding ring for Renee as well.
Oh, so the three of you were going to get married?
Yes.
I don't know that I've ever seen that. Okay, continue.
And so I bought the rings. I actually have the receipts for the 2 rings that I bought.
Okay, go ahead and give your whole folder, please, sir, to my bailiff. And who was going to buy your ring?
I guess we never discussed that at the time.
Okay.
No.
All right, that's fine. So you received $3,000 from this Miss Green.
Yes, I also have the evidence of that.
Okay, Elijah, please retrieve Miss Green's evidence. I just want to make sure I'm following the money here. Thank you, sir. Okay, so Miss Green gave you $3,000.
Yes.
To contribute to a ring for Miss Porter.
Yes.
Okay, so I do see some evidence from Miss Green that you sent this money to Mr. Miles for her ring.
Yes.
How much was the total cost of Miss Porter's ring?
It was $8,750.
Okay, so you contributed a little less than half.
Yes, ma'am.
And you were going to pay the rest.
Yes.
And who was going to pay for Miss Porter's? Well, no, that's her ring. Who was going to pay for Miss Green's ring?
I did.
The whole ring?
The whole ring.
How much was her ring?
Same amount.
Okay. You got off pretty nice there, Miss Porter. Okay. So let's see here what you have presented. Okay. You bought two 2-carat pear-shaped diamond rings. So they were going to have matching rings.
Yes.
So each ring was $8,750.
That's correct.
Okay. So why are you suing them for the cost of both rings, sir?
Well, we ended up getting engaged. I proposed to Tasha, and I gave Tasha the ring to propose to Renee. Mm-hmm. And
who proposed to Renee?
I proposed.
You proposed to Renee. Okay, so it's kind of like a trickle down. Type of effect.
I wanted to make it more of a community than me being the driver of everything.
Okay.
You know.
Sure. Yeah. Okay.
And we ended up discussing some wedding plans. I felt a little bit overwhelmed. My job was picking up at the time. I was a little bit flustered and a little bit more closed off. I felt like my voice wasn't being heard as much.
In the relationship?
In terms of the wedding specifically.
Oh, okay.
And I felt like I didn't have as much passion.
Well, what was your vision, sir?
Well, we knew that we were going to have the wedding in Dubai.
Okay, so in Dubai, 3 people can legally get married?
Yes. However, it wasn't going to be on paper.
Okay, it was just going to be a commitment.
It was going to be me and Tasha on paper, but also the communion of us 3.
Okay. And in Dubai, that's recognized?
Yes.
Okay, go ahead, sir.
It was more about the details of the wedding.
I mean, what are we talking about, sir? Colors of napkins? What kind of details? What are you talking about?
I think a large piece of it was how grand the wedding was going to be.
Well, go ahead, ma'am. You feel
I don't think he would have known because he wasn't very a part of the planning because he excluded himself from the planning.
Because of his busy work schedule or why?
I think he loaded more onto his work schedule so he didn't have to deal with the planning of the wedding.
As Dale Carnegie once said, when you're dealing with people, remember you are not dealing with creatures of logic, but creatures of emotion. So a couple things stand out to me here. First, why would anyone agree to a throuple? Any relationship requires communication, but adding another person can make things more complex. More people means more communication. Every major decision requires more agreement. And when communication starts to break down, misunderstandings can multiply. Then there's the time and attention. How do you divide your time fairly? What happens if one person starts feeling overlooked? What if one relationship naturally becomes stronger than another? Those situations could create jealousy and insecurity and someone feeling left out. Then there's the future. Did all 3 people have the same vision? Marriage, commitment, children. Those are foundational conversations. And something else that caught my attention was she gave him $3,000 towards an engagement ring. Do you think that that was simply a generous gesture, or did it create an expectation that the relationship was now moving towards marriage? I am curious what you think, because at this point in the case, I don't know if he was withdrawing because he was overwhelmed or because he was starting to question whether he wanted the wedding at all. Let's get back.
Do you think he really wanted to be married?
I thought so in the beginning, but as the planning of the wedding went on, he became a lot more distant, and that was very confusing considering that we were very in it from the beginning to buy me a ring and then let me propose to Renee as well. So him becoming distant during the planning and becoming hyper-focused on details was...
You think it was an excuse?
Absolutely.
Yeah. Okay.
I think it was more than he expected. And
what do you mean more than he expected, ma'am? He picked it. He picked you and y'all picked her. And what do you mean?
I think it was fun until he realized that it was actually a real relationship.
Oh, okay. Is that some truth to that, sir?
I feel like there is some truth to that. I didn't realize 100% the emotional
responsibility.
The emotional responsibility. This was, a polyamorous relationship was new to all three of us.
So it was cute till it got real. Okay.
Yeah.
I appreciate the honesty. Okay. So are y'all together, all three of you now?
No.
Are you two still together?
Yes. More so. Yeah.
More so? What that mean now?
We still live together.
Are you seeing other people? Let me ask that.
No.
So y'all are still in a relationship.
Yes.
Is that why you're still wearing your rings?
Yes.
And that's why you don't want to give them back to him?
It's more so because he wants to take the rings, and I was dedicated to keeping this relationship going.
So you didn't want to break up?
No.
And you didn't want to break up?
No.
So the only person that wanted out was you, sir?
Yes.
This is getting very interesting. Let me come down and take a look at the rings up close, ladies. Okay. I know you want to see too, Elijah. Come on over.
I'm protecting you.
Very beautiful. Very beautiful. Nice sparkle on both rings. Good job, sir. Very nice. Very nice. Okay. Reminds me I got to get to the diamond store soon. Okay. So, two gorgeous rings, two gorgeous ladies. Seems like a very nice, handsome gentleman here, but it just didn't quite work out. But ultimately, it sounds like you are the one that ended the relationship.
Yes.
And did you move out?
No. It was actually Tasha who moved out, originally wanting to have a break from, I guess, me. And Renee quickly followed and moved in with Tasha as well.
So you live by yourself now?
I do live by myself now.
And are you in a relationship?
No.
Are you sad? I don't know that you seem sad. You seem like you might be relieved.
I'm not relieved at all. I'm more hurt and really wanting to move on.
So you don't want to reconcile with either young lady?
No. I honestly feel betrayed by the whole thing.
I'm confused, sir. Now, when did you get betrayed? Did somebody catch that? Because I missed it.
The one instance where I felt betrayed was when Tasha moved out without warning, without communication from me, and Renee quickly followed her.
Okay, so go ahead, Ms. Green, because I'm sure you're going to dispute that.
Absolutely. There was plenty of conversation that he didn't want to hear. And I left because there was so much tension in the house. He wasn't talking to her. And when it came to me, it was controlling, it was manipulative, it was possessive. And I couldn't deal with that. And I wanted this relationship to work. So I said, let me give this some space. It's very much what it needed. So I got my own apartment. Renee,
but you intended to still work on the relationship from your own apartment.
Absolutely.
It didn't feel like that from my perspective, Your Honor.
Let me ask you something from your perspective, Mr. Miles, because I'm still trying to understand your emotional change here. Do you feel like you got jealous of maybe Miss Porter when she and Miss Green got close in their own way in relationship? Is that what it was?
I don't want to call it jealousy, but I did...
Uncomfortable?
I felt that they were getting closer together with each other than I was with either of them. And I felt like the odd one out in that relationship.
Okay, so you felt like a third wheel in your own throuple.
And honestly, them moving out into their own place without me only made that real.
Only magnified that feeling.
Right.
What do you have to say about that, Miss Green?
He was never there. I left because when he was there, it was a problem all the time. I couldn't do anything. He controlled what I wore, what I did, what I posted, how I said things. It's like I couldn't even be my own human being without him hovering over me. It did give jealous.
And Miss Porter, did he have that same controlling affect on you?
No, he would avoid me. He wouldn't talk to me. He would give me rude looks.
Treatment?
Yeah.
Do you think he resented you even being there?
Yes.
So why did you invite her to come into the relationship in the first place, sir?
Because it wasn't like that at first, Your Honor.
What was it like? Tell me, because I wouldn't know. I've never been in a throuple. I've heard of this, but I've actually never known anybody personally involved. So what was it like in the beginning?
I thought it was very healthy in the beginning with all three of us having active communication and all three of us thriving in this
right?
relationship.
It was new to all involved.
Yes, it was new to all of us.
Let me say something, Mr. Miles. Again, I'm not an expert in relationships, but I've lived a bit of life. And when something is brand new, right, three people are all meeting for the first time, it makes sense that there's an evenness of dynamic and energy. But people are individuals. So it totally stands to reason that over time, and you're talking about 2 years that this has been a throuple of sorts, these two might have just innately connected on a different level.
What happens when someone feels like they're losing their place in a relationship? Sometimes insecurity leads people to pull away, and other times it leads them to try to regain control. This means trying to regain certainty or acting out of fear of being replaced or fear of abandonment, wanting reassurance in unhealthy ways, or attempts to hold on tighter, which sometimes has the opposite effect. So when people try to solve internal insecurity with external control, the problem is that trying to control someone's choice rarely creates trust. Typically, it can create more distance. When is that too far? Healthy relationships to me sound like, we can talk about this. I'm feeling insecure. Can you reassure me? We're respecting the other person's answer, even if it's hard to hear. What starting to cross the line looks like to me is telling someone what they could wear and what they can post and who they can spend time with, or isolating them from other people or monitoring their behavior. And obviously, well beyond the line is threatening consequences if they don't comply, or trying to dictate their daily choices, or using guilt or fear to influence them, or trying to make them feel responsible for your emotions, or believing love gives you the authority over another person's independence. If I were the two women, I would consider these actions strongly before entering a relationship, much less a marriage. Let's get back.
So you thought, in a reasonable way, that the evenness between not one, not two, but three people was going to stay the complete same throughout the entirety of the relationship?
I mean, that's what I expected, Your Honor, but I
don't know, Mr. Miles. I don't know that sounds reasonable to you. Have you ever been in forget the romantic throuple for a second. Have you ever been in a platonic friendship amongst three people?
Yes.
Okay. Now, when you think back to that, were all three, let's just say it's you and your homeboys, right? You and two other homeboys. Were all three of y'all perfectly equally best friends the entire 10, 15, 20 years of the friendship?
I mean, not the entire time.
Exactly. Because I know I'm not the only one in here who has been in a friendship throuple, right? And sometimes it's you and the one homeboy that are a little bit closer, playing ball, hanging out, going to the game. Maybe y'all share a favorite team, whatever the situation is. Doesn't mean you don't love your other homeboy. It just means y'all two are vibing a certain way at that particular time. Then maybe a few years down the road, you and the other, maybe he's also in the music industry. So y'all got that. See what I'm saying? These dynamics are bound to change over time, sir. So to expect these two ladies, and even from yourself, what if, I mean, it happened to be that those two gravitated towards each other and you felt left out. What if it had been a different way? What if it was you and Miss Porter that all of a sudden, you know, the new kid on the block, and you gave all the time and attention to her? How do you think that would have made Miss Green feel? So I think what I'm saying is, I think the throuple situation could be quite successful. I mean, so I hear. But I think that it is an inevitable invitation for this type of discourse, for the ebb and flow of closeness amongst three different people that is not always going to be exactly equal, sir.
Well, I think what the deal breaker is for me is that they moved out. And they moved into the same house with each other, keeping me separated from the situation.
But they both still want to be with you. And the only person that doesn't want to be in the relationship today in this courtroom, sir, is you.
But it doesn't seem like that if they're going to keep their distance from me.
Okay, I think I've heard enough. Ladies, do you have anything more to offer the court? I'm prepared to make a ruling. What do you have to say, Ms. Porter?
I have to say something about what he said. It's like, in order for relationships to work, sometimes you have to give each other space, and that's what we needed. Okay. And so I don't know why you decided to distance yourself from us, because we both still want this relationship. We both still love you, and we both still want to make this work. And it feels like we try to make you want this relationship to work, and you don't. And so it feels like now And now you even want like our engagement rings back, and you don't want to be in a relationship with us. So I don't see the problem. You're making it a problem because you want us to give you the money back, and you want us to give you the engagement ring back, and you don't want to be in a relationship with us. Mm-hmm. And we want space, and you need to allow us to to have that space between each other so we can actually think about it and make this relationship work.
I appreciate it, Ms. Porter, but he's made it clear to this court that he's not interested in giving y'all space or time or anything else. He doesn't even want y'all to keep those rings.
Did the girls actually choose each other over him? If they moved out together, wasn't that choosing each other? Can you really say you still wanted to be with him while leaving together? I feel like he was probably justified in feeling left behind. If they still wanted him, why didn't they move back in? To me, there is a mismatch between their words and their actions. And if I had to pick between the two, I would believe someone's actions. What about you? Let's find out the verdict.
So I've decided what I want to do in this case. Mr. Miles, I think you're absolutely entitled to have the relationship that makes you happy and comfortable. However, you wanting a relationship, particularly one of this complexity and of this magnitude, exclusively on your terms, this court finds unreasonable. My construction in this courtroom is it is given on a conditional promise, the conditional promise of marriage. These two ladies still would marry you tomorrow. It is only because of you and your actions, sir, that the marriage is not happening. If it were these two who decided we're good by ourselves, we're not interested in Mr. Miles, we're going to do our own thing, I would absolutely rule in your favor today. I would find them in breach of the condition in which the rings they are wearing were given. But as it stands, it is you and you alone who have broken the condition in which these rings were promised, so the court must rule in favor of the defendants. I do find that these ladies get to retain their rings because they were still committed to the condition in which they were given, and it is the plaintiff's claim which must be dismissed. That is my ruling.
The biggest takeaway for me isn't whether a throuple can work. It's that every relationship depends on trust, communication, and shared expectations. And once people stop feeling hurt, stop feeling secure, or stop believing they're building the same future, the relationship usually starts drifting long before anyone officially walks away. So the moral of the story is that relationships change. And sometimes the healthiest decision is accepting that they've changed. So let's do better by knowing when to hold on and when to let go. Now, my final question for you. Do you think they should have given the engagement rings back? Put your answers in the comments. And as always, thank you for watching. Make sure to like, follow, and share. And I will see you again soon.